One of the reasons why this tower island is so difficult is because my allies, or rather my enemies, have basically got free access to the entire map, not only for resources but also mobs. Me and my ally have rarely been able to do any damage to the mobs, so we have not been able to creep that much. They have a hippogriff scouting and they're currently going to drop down some mortars and see how that goes. Not too successfully. The towers on this bit here are so crucial. We have to keep those because the reason why this top left expansion is the one that we take rather than the bottom right one preferably is because the top left one is just about perfect. The towers can pretty much reach anywhere apart from this tiny segment here. Another tricky obstacle to overcome is the Dragonhawk Rider's cloud ability, which stops all towers from attacking, or anything that's like a tower, like a burrow or whatever. So they've now decided to try and use that in conjunction with their mortars, but that's when we're going to have to bring out our heroes and try and do as much damage as we can whilst taking as little damage as possible. Stormbolt basically denied my ally from moving anywhere. And I need to keep my hero alive as best as possible. This is not looking good for us right now. Cloud is still going off and we need that to be stopped so our towers can actually do some good damage. Hopefully the cloud will run out in a moment. It only lasts for so long. But it looks very bad for us right now. Very bad. I only got my own hero. Just trying to cloud as much as he can. The idea really would be to try and kill the Dragonhawk Riders so that you can stop the clouds and then the towers have free range to attack anything that's in range. But unfortunately I can't really get to the Dragonhawk Riders safely, so I'm sending out my water elementals. Now the towers are free to attack. That attack was held off and we killed a lot, but unfortunately in our situation, like I said before, we've got very little resources, so we really can't afford to lose much at all, whereas our enemies can afford to lose a lot since they've got the entire map. I doubt our enemies have encountered this strategy before, but they've bought goblin sappers which are awesome against buildings, but what they don't know is that goblin zeppelins cannot load goblin sappers. They're trying to attack again, but we are ready this time, and I've got dragon riders of my own to ensnare their dragon riders, which will stop the clouds from going off and allow them to take maximum damage from the towers. I've also placed an infernal right on top of their army just to try and help mitigate any damage possible. My allies hero gets killed again. Unfortunate positioning there. I can't get back here because there's a bloody troll witch doctor in the way. Need to move it. Get out the way, troll witch doctor, get out the way. I have to use my TP. I can't afford to lose my hero. This is very nasty right now. They're losing a lot though, and we've only lost a couple of towers and one hero. But like I say, one loss for us is huge, whereas a loss for them is very tiny. At this stage anyway. Until they run dry of resources themselves. That's another attack fended off. My hero is now level 6, which is fantastic. But ideally, I want my ally's hero to be level 5. He's currently level 4. But once he gets level 5, he's also bought himself a tome of retraining, which you can get from the Goblin Merchant, and he'll use that and he can then retrain his abilities. So he'll get himself the ability Farsight, which is basically like Reveal from the Goblin Laboratories, except it's huge. And if you get the level 5 version, you can basically reveal about a fifth of the map. And it only costs like a small amount of mana. The enemy's Warden has just blinked from here onto here. It's a great ability for this map, and it's very useful for my enemies, but what they don't know is we've got sentry wards. Watch and see what happens. He's using invisibility potion, or he's got invisibility because his ally has got sorceresses somewhere on the map, and they can cast invisibility. So he didn't see that one coming. In case I didn't mention just then, sentry wards can see invisible units. Doy. As far as I know, I don't think my enemies have seen how many Dragonhawk riders I have. I believe I only have about 10 roughly, but preferably I'd rather that they think that I have none, or very few indeed, so that way when they do attack, I can ensnare as many as possible and shock surprise them. To ensure that we have enough wood to fit in with the amount of gold that we'll have in total, I've sneaked in a shredder here and a peon to build in a lumber mill at this bit here where my enemies are unlikely to scout, so I can get a nice bit of wood surplus.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
The last gold mine is now officially complete and got rid of. I couldn't think of a better word for that. What the hell. Anyway, all the gold mines are now gone basically. My enemies are sitting on 71, so Feck has 16,000 gold and 71 food. Oznuts has 10,000 gold and 75 food. So they also have a level 6 Archmage, level 5 Mountain King, level 2 Blood Mage, and a level 4 Warden. And all that gold. Whereas we, be it my ally, me and Praki, have a level 6 Archmage, 849 gold, 2 sorceresses, that's for invisibility by the way in case you're wondering, and about 13 Dragonhawks. Whilst my ally has a level 4